What's up, people? It's time for What the Fuck Tuesday. Except it's Wednesday. Because your friend over here messed up bad and scheduled somebody for a February interview. Anyway, yeah, I said the 11th Wednesday, but Wednesday is the 12th. So, of course, she was ready to do it on the 11th, pay more attention to that than the day I typed, thinking it was just a typo. So I had to flip things. So there you go. That's what happened. So welcome everyone to the show. God, didn't I just see you guys? It just seemed like that was just a couple of days ago. I guess it was. No, we're not doing questions tonight. These questions are already sent in. This is a different format show. This show, you have to send your questions in advance, and then all of the questions are put into this document. There are usually 25 of them, and there's 25 again. But if you want to do that, you can look in the show description down below, and you'll see the link to submit a question that can be answered perhaps next week. I don't make any promises because I don't put the questions together. My cousin Candace handles that part. However, I do want to say that on one of the days in February, I think it's the 11th, we will be having, yeah, here it is. Yeah, February 11th. On Friday, February 11th, we will be doing another one of the live stream question advance, live stream where you get your questions answered right on the show. So that is Friday the 11th. Mark your calendar so you don't forget. The show page is already up, so you can go there and share the link around or send it to yourself to remind you to put it on your calendar or your Apple Watch or whatever you guys do, so that you don't miss it. The way it works is you make an $8 payment to Super Chat if you're using YouTube, or a Cash App. There's my Cash App right there, Debsterism. And you then type your question into the chat, or you can call in and we always post the link. Either way, you can get your question answered right there on the spot in real time. So we'll be doing that on Friday, February 11th. That's part of February. All right. So there you go. I hope that answers that question, and you guys can all, mark that down because we got a lot of requests from the last time I did that. I don't know why everybody waited till the last minute. So here I am closing the show and saying all my goodbyes, and it was great and all this stuff. And then people want to start sending in questions. Don't do that. You get your question together now, and then put your question in there like soon as the show starts, and then your question will get answered. So a whole bunch of people got shut down, and they were sad. So we're gonna do it again though on the 11th. So let's get started with today's column. 25 questions of what the fuckness, because it's always interesting. You guys like my makeup? Believe it or not, when I put this on, it looked different. I guess too much time has passed by. But anyway, it was like silver. Oh, it's my Canadian brother. That's right, because he can make it on Wednesdays, but he can't. He doesn't usually make it on Tuesday. Um, Silver, black, and a dark gray, and that's what it looks like. But it don't look as sparkly as it did. I guess it wears off quick. Okay, question number 1. Female, 22 to 27 age group, from Austin, Texas. I need advice on what steps I can take to build a more meaningful connection with the guy that I'm seeing. I'm 25 and have been dating this guy, 28, for a bit longer than a month. And I've noticed that we never have meaningful conversations. It's hard for me to open up and get close to people. Even in friendships, it takes me a while. What can I do to spark deeper conversations? Well, let's look at this from 2 angles. Number 1, are you guys not interested in getting to know each other? Like, really? I mean, it seems like to me that would be a part of the getting to know you process. You shouldn't be struggling for something to talk to with the guy that you're seeing. It should be like you guys don't have enough time to talk because you're in the discovery phase. You only been seeing him for a month. Okay? That's one thing that, to consider. I mean, what is it that you want to know about him? Then just ask him and volunteer the same information about yourself. Talk about your childhood and, what your dreams were when you were a little kid, and the little trouble you got into, and how you used to fight with your siblings. I have so many stories about me and my brothers. It's not even funny. I could talk for days about them crazy folks because my brothers was always in trouble. And usually I was the one telling that got them in trouble. That was my role. It's not blue, it's gray. It's it's that was my job to tell on them. And I was good at it too. So I mean, I have all kind of stories. We used to go. I was in the Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts. We would go to camp. My family went on all these different trips, and my father was a character that just straight out of somebody's comic book, and my mother was just like the complete. I mean, it's just like I could talk about my family and growing up for days. Have you guys ever had any conversations like that? I mean, what are you doing here? Okay, now that was part one. Part two is that he's not asking you any questions about yourself and who you are and trying to figure out, what kind of woman you are and stuff, because he doesn't care. He doesn't care because he's not there for that. He's there for, hmm, you know what I'm trying to say. He's not there for anything more than that. So his level of interest in you is very shallow and superficial. So you need to first figure out what your role is in his life, and if it makes sense for you to even put all this energy into trying to get to know him, because maybe he's just somebody who's just, you know, there for the fun moments, and then he's going to be deuced out in another couple of weeks once he gets tired of what's going down in your in private time. Okay, let's move on to question number two. This is a young man in the 22 to 27 age group, again, from Phoenix, Arizona. He says he's a Gemini, and the young lady in question is 22 to 27 as well, and she's an Aries. He says, my ex-girlfriend is angry that I didn't wish her a happy birthday. We hadn't spoken in over 3 months. We were also stuck in a breakup cycle for a couple of years prior to this. On our last interaction, she was extremely rude, disrespectful, and for a long time leading up to that, she had been taking me for granted. Her lousy behavior just pushed me too far. In fact, at that time, I discovered that not only was she not defending me when her closest friends and family were bad-mouthing me, but one of her friends insists that she doesn't use my name in her presence and instead use a derogatory name to call me. Oh, wow. And my ex was calling me this name. I discovered this has been going on for many months. This makes me believe that my ex agrees with what these people say about me. It's dehumanizing, and the last person I expected this from was her. By the way, these people have no reason to have such a dislike for me. In fact, they're quite nice to me in my face, but they all want her to work things out with her child's father. But she loves me, or so I thought she did. Okay, he goes on and on. What kind of book did he write? Okay, I'm not even going to go. Okay, she has refused to see me any longer so she can keep her interactions with me a secret. There is no relationship without us seeing each other, so I tell her when that's over with her child's father, she should call me. But again, she keeps chasing after me. She still won't see me. It's pure craziness. So she's rude, disrespectful, allows her family and friends to badmouth me, refuses to see me, keeps breaking up with me, only to chase after me again, but only wants to keep me her shameful little in the closet secret. Anyway, was I wrong for not reaching out to her on her birthday? She's quite upset, and I still haven't responded to her. I do love her, but I don't think she deserves anything from me, at least until she shows some significant investment, which I don't expect after all this time. I'll be listening to the show to hear your instructions. Thank you. My instructions is that you immediately either block her or change your phone number. There's no saving this. How are you wrapping your mind around that you as a young man who should have more pride in yourself, just as a human being, first of all, and then secondly, as a young man, okay? How can you allow a woman to tell you out of one side of her mouth, oh, I love you, but on the other side of her mouth, she calls you derogatory names, takes you for granted, is rude, disrespectful, refuses to see you, keeps breaking up with you, and wants to keep you in the closet secret. So you see, all that you're hearing from this side is, yeah, I love you. But all her behavior coming from the other side of her mouth shows that she don't give a shit about you. What you need to do, sir, is exactly what I tell young women. Pay attention to what someone does, not what they say. Okay, because she's saying she's gaslighting you. Oh yes, I love you. I love you. Don't leave. She wants to try to keep you like hovering, keep you hovering in her circle, in her world, without some other woman, without companionship, without happiness, without laughter, without a good time, without romance, without anything. You're hanging out, waiting for her to come back into your life so she can ruin it all again. It makes you sound like less than intelligent. It's kind of really problematic for me to see someone so willing to put themselves in harm's way like that. So you really think about what I said and what you wrote. And like I said, picture, what was that character that was on? It was a cartoon where he had like half his face. I think it was like an old Batman show or something. Anyway, he had half of his show face was one way and half was the other way. That's what you have in this girl. You need to pay attention to the side that's over here. I mean, over here, the negative stuff that's coming out of her mouth and the negative way that she's treating you. And stop paying attention to them little words. I love you. That don't mean shit unless it's backed up with action. Okay? And that's exactly the same thing I tell women. Question number 3. This is a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group from Los Angeles, California. I don't know if you guys, those of you who didn't listen last week, I pointed out that, oh, it's called Two-Face, that's right. Um, I pointed out that I had gone through some of our columns for the last couple of months, probably, I don't know, maybe about 20 of them. And because they're all on my computer and done in Microsoft Word, right? Because when she emails them to me to print them out, they're now on my computer. So I can go through them and I can print, scan them. And I did a scan to see how many people were in each age group, just to get kind of an idea of what my market is, who writes to What the Fuck Tuesday. I wanted to know that. And overwhelmingly, like 70% of the letters over the last 6 months have come from people in the 22 to 27 age group. That is not to say that is only who comes to the channel though. Those numbers are a little different. But who writes for advice is this age group, which to me means that this age group is in serious trouble. In serious trouble. Parents, you are failing your kids because you are not teaching them nothing and turning them out into the world, going to college and doing other stuff, and they don't know what the hell they're doing. And they are messing up their lives, choosing people who are abusing them, mistreating them, taking them for granted, lying to them, and doing all kinds of stuff, and they don't know any different. That's the part that's so bothersome to me. This is the kind of stuff that you should be learning at home. Your parents should be sitting you down and teaching you this stuff before you even start dating. What is a standard for a boyfriend? How should a boyfriend treat you? If someone likes you, what do you do? If someone cheats on you, what do you do? If someone twists your arm, slaps you, pokes you, pinches your hair, pushes you, what do you do? First of all, you come and if it's my kid, you tell me, and me and Roscoe gonna pay him a visit. Plus, I'm gonna call some of my cousins, and we're gonna beat their ass. We're gonna beat them down. Push one of them. Let's see how well that works out for you. So, this is the kind of stuff, the kind of conversations you be having with your kids, not just telling your girls, especially, oh, just, get someone nice. Get someone who will take care of you. What is that? What does that mean? So I'm really having a problem with this. That's why I mentioned it again. Do better, people. Okay, question number 3, 22 to 27 from Los Angeles. Hello, Deb, Candace, and ladies of the squad. My boyfriend and I have been dating for almost a year. We've been friends for about 5 years. I am 22 and he is 23. We always had the best relationship, and in the beginning, for a long time, things were amazing, like the best ever. Now he just makes me feel bad about myself, and I don't know what to do. He started getting kind of cold with me. He never supports me emotionally and claims it's because that's not how he is, and it's hard for him to act comforting, etc. He just moved across the country for work, and I'm stuck at school for 2 more years, so I can't move with him, like most human beings would be. I was worried and sad about him moving, but he would get annoyed when I would bring this up. But I wanted to talk about it and just be sad with him, though he didn't seem to be sad. He's been gone for about a week now, and it's been hard for me to not show my sadness. Today, he got really mad at me for being upset this whole time because I should be excited for him and whatever. And today, I had something troubling happening. No, I'm sorry. And today, I had something exciting happen, and I've been looking forward to it for weeks. We talked on the phone for only 2 minutes today, and it was all about him. Then he asked me if he I asked him if he told the people that he's been living with about me. He said, yeah, why? And I joked, but I was kind of serious too, that it would be a red flag if he hadn't. He got so upset at this and then he hung up in my face. All day long, he didn't ask me how my day or event went. And when I told him I was going to sleep, he said, okay. I told him all this hurt me. And he turned it back on me, said, I haven't been excited for him getting mad about my red flag joke and saying he was going to ask me about my day until I made that joke and it got him angry. These are not uncommon events in our relationship. He makes me feel so sad, unimportant and small, but I don't know what to do. I really do love him, and when there's not a conflict, our relationship is really fun. I don't know if I just feel broken and need some advice. You need to break up with him. Now, I'm not going to say that you're breaking up with him is because he makes you feel sad. You're making your damn self feel sad. Okay, I'm about to ream you. Let me tell you why. Okay, this boy, you guys are young. Okay, you're very young, too young to be worried about what somebody's doing and they on the other side of the country, wherever the hell he went. You send him on his way and then you break up. So you don't have to worry about what he's doing, where he is, who he's living with, nothing, because he's not your man no more. Okay? That was the first mistake you made. Number two, is he is excited about, since he's 23 and you 22. This is his first time away from home. He's getting, he's starting his life as a young man. He's got this great new job. He's excited about the adventure that he's on. He's trying to share it with you the best he can long distance, but you are like a wet fucking blanket. All you want to talk about is, oh my God, I'm so sad. I'm so sad. That's why he doesn't want to talk to you. He's excited about what's going on. He wanted to share that excitement with you, and instead you get mad at him for being excited about the changes in his future, and then you want to whine and cry and talk about how sad you are. And then you turn around after you hit him with that, you want to tell him some good news, which would be sound like the first time, but he's already mad because you already turned him off with your whining and sadness about him being gone. He can't come back. There's what you're crying about is he can't do anything about that. And it's like, how many times are you gonna beat him over the head with it? I would be bad at you too. See, I'm explaining this to you so that you can understand from his perspective because you don't seem to be able to do that. You only thinking about yourself. Okay. So what's going to happen here he's gonna break up with you. That's what's about to happen. He's gonna break up with you because you just ruining his fun. You're ruining his life. You're ruining his excitement about his new job and the path that his little life, his little 23-year-old life is on. And you just killing it. You're killing all signs of joy, worrying about your feelings about him being gone. Okay, so just deuce out. He's probably gonna do it for you, like I said. And then this little hot mess here will be over. You don't you need some you have some growing up to do. Okay. All that sadness and stuff. I mean, yeah, you can say, oh, I'm really gonna miss you. That's the extent of what you should say to a man in a situation like that. I'm gonna miss you. We'll talk, whatever. But hitting him with that every fucking time he talks to you, who you think want to hear that over and over? Especially like I said, when there's nothing he can do about it. He's not gonna quit the job and come and look at you. Oh my God. Question number 4, female, 22 to 27 from Baltimore, Maryland. She is a Capricorn. I've worked in HR for a small company over the past 3 years. I am Black and have come close with 3 white female coworkers. One is called, quote, Sarah. That obviously means it's not her real name. We recently had 2 male coworkers join the company. We welcomed them and they began regularly going to bars with us. Oh. One weekend we all went out. Okay, so it's 3 of y'all, 4 of y'all, and 2 guys. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure I'm keeping up. Okay, we all went out. When we left, I Ubered to Sarah's place. It's me, Sarah, and one of the male colleagues in Sarah's small apartment. I'm thinking he will leave and I will sleep on the couch. But before I know it, Sarah grabs the male colleague and pulls him into her bedroom. The lights go out and I hear them making out as I drunkenly pass out. I wake up the next day and see him asleep in the bed next to her with no shirt and no pants. I leave confused. I text Sarah and ask if they hooked up last night. She confirms they did. I had no idea that they were involved. If I had, I wouldn't have slept over. I blocked and unfollowed them both. How old are you? Oh, 22 to 27. Okay. I took the next 3 weeks to be alone. Sarah reached out at work and I engaged to be professional. I continued to engage in our group chat. After a few weeks, Sarah quits her job. I message her and say, we should talk. I explained that I felt disrespected and she crossed several professional boundaries. She responded annoyed, saying that her and her male coworker didn't have eggplant that night and nothing happened about her than making out. And she texted me, yes. Okay, well, making out and actually doing the do are two completely different things. She explained they had been hooking up for a while, how she takes her job seriously, and they are now dating, one reason why she quit. She said she knows how seriously I take my HR job, called me her best friend, and then went to shake my hand. I rejected it and said I need to set boundaries, as this wasn't the first time she crossed a line. Notice the tone I am reading this letter in. I'm about to rip you a new ass. I said 80% of the time we go out, she gets drunk and will expect me to be her caretaker. I said I will sometimes get irritated, as these aren't cases of someone taking advantage, but instead her deciding to get that drunk and expecting me to save her. For example, she went out dancing with a full leg cast and was drunkenly whining like a toddler how much her leg hurt and begging me to take her home. She got defensive, played the victim, and ran away crying. She was a bitch her last 2 days at work and weaponized our colleagues against me. She was nasty, unprofessional, and cliquish. Several weeks have gone by, and I guess she thinks we are good. My colleagues act like nothing happened, and I feel are waiting on me to make up. I still feel disrespected and that she weaponized her white woman tears to gain sympathy and paint me as the quote villainous black woman at my job. Advice on how to handle this? Yes, slap the hell out of yourself because you tripping. First of all, let's go back over all this long-winded garbage you wrote. 'Cause I'm about to tell you about yourself, Missy. Number one, okay, you at a small company, you the only black one. What makes you think that you can be that close friends where you going out getting drunk and sleeping over people that you worked with house and you black and they white and you the only one and you're in HR? Okay, let's go down this list here. HR, does that HR? You don't party with nobody at your job. You ain't friends with nobody at your job. That is a serious conflict of interest. Okay, you fucked up all over the place on that. You want to talk about somebody crossing professional boundaries? That was you. That was you. Okay. Then you go to, you going out drinking and all this kind of stuff, inappropriate. You had one drink and your ass is supposed to be out. Okay, you don't be going and getting drunk and passing out of people's house and all that old shit like that. Unprofessional crossing boundaries. Again, that was you. You don't want an HR. Okay, then we go to, you hear them in there and they doing what they doing, whatever. Okay, did you forget that that wasn't your house? That's not your house. She can do whatever the fuck she want to do in her house because it's her house. If you didn't like it, you were supposed to get your happy ass up, get in the back of that Uber that you was in before, and go to your house. That's what you were supposed to do. You had no right to ask her anything about what she did in her house. You lucky, because I would have cussed you out and told you all about yourself. Come asking me what the fuck I'm doing in my house in my bed. It's none of your goddamn business. That's what you would have got from me, and I wouldn't care if it was an HR or not. Okay, now let's move on. You blocked and unfollowed them both. Do you like Sarah or something? Because that's the way you acting, like a little jealous little somebody who got their feelings hurt because the competition was too much for you. That's what this is coming across like. I'm not saying that is what it is, but I'm saying that's what it sounds like. And sometimes when the duck quacks, it quacks and it has yellow feathers, and you got to pretty much call it a duck. So you need to think about that. You think about what your deeper motivations is for having all these emotions about some woman that you work with fucking some man. And neither one of them, the man wasn't your dude. You didn't like the dude. There's no reason for you to be acting like this unless you had some secret feelings for Sarah. Okay? Okay, then you took the next 3 weeks to be alone. And she tried to be, and talk and stuff and try to mend fences and shake your hand. And you threw a tantrum again, acting like, some little jealous, rejected lover. You really need to think about this, what motivated you to act this way. Okay. Then, all the stuff about her going out being drunk and expecting you to be her taker. Okay, so after the first time that she did that, you, in your role as an HR professional and that as a coworker, it was inappropriate for you to go anywhere with that woman ever again unless it was a company sponsored event, like a company Christmas party, a company retreat, a company luncheon, a company dinner, where the company is sponsoring it, the company is paying the invitation and it's hosted by the company. Then you can do that. But you just going out and then you mad because she got drunk and depended on you to take care of. Well, you should have left then. It's like I said, after the first time you knew what was going on and you stayed. So all in all, you talking about you feel disrespected and all that kind of shit. You making that shit up in your own imagination. Nobody disrespected you. You was in somebody else's house. If you didn't like it, you were supposed to take your happy black ass home. That's what you were supposed to do. You don't see into somebody's face and be giving them an attitude because they doing what they want to do where they pay the bills. Okay, that ain't your house. You don't have no reason to be running your mouth about nothing that goes up on that girl's house. You leave then. Okay. So how you gonna handle this? You're gonna go to work tomorrow and the rest of this week, and you're gonna start talking to people like you have some damn sense. You are not gonna go out getting drunk with anybody else ever again. You go and get out with your friends, your private friends, and your family and stuff like that, not your coworkers. It's inappropriate. You got to have a boundary there. You can be friendly with them and stuff, like I said, at company events. Maybe you go to lunch every now and then or something like that with a peer, which is another manager or something. You don't be hanging out getting drunk with the coworkers. That is just unbelievable. You fucked up all over the place on this one, and then you trying to write me and act like it's somebody else's fault. This is your fault. You made a whole bunch of dumbass decisions and choices, and your thinking is confused. Okay? Get your shit together. Question number 5, female, 22 to 27, out of Glendale, California, Sagittarius. I have been incredibly selfish for the past 26 years and don't think I can express well enough the breadth of the issues without blabbing to strangers on the internet the very intimate details of my significant other's life. Essentially, I'm a narcissist and I often spiral out into negative depressive tantrums, leaving him no room of his own to do anything other than care for me. Oh. It's reached a final boiling point as of last night. I won't get another chance after this and frankly wouldn't want one. He deserves so much better. I don't say that out of self-pity either. He's gone above and beyond what would be considered a good partner in life. I want to improve though, for him, for me, for us. He's the love of my life. There's no room in my heart for anyone else if this relationship ends. I know it's going to take a lot of time. I've been like this essentially all of the 2+ years of our relationship with minor, very painstakingly gradual improvements. You should also know that I've been in therapy for the past 10 years. It hasn't fucking worked, has it? Get a new therapist. It's not that I'm at a loss for what to do, it's dealing with the mental blocks and self loathing that often prevent any lasting positive action, if that makes sense. Thank you for your advice. Yeah, something wrong with you. First of all, if you've been in therapy for 10 years and you only 20, what did she say, 26? Yeah, 26 years old and you've been in therapy since you were 16 and you still this fucked up, you need a different therapist, honey, quickly, like tomorrow. Because whatever this person is doing, they're not doing well. They're not getting to the issue. They're not fixing you. They're not putting you on the path to recovery. They just just getting all your money. That's what they doing. There's no reason in this world why anybody needed 10 months maybe for some severe trauma. Maybe 18 months, because it depends on how long you see them. These days, I hear the session's only 30 minutes. I don't see what you could do in only 30 minutes. It takes you that long to start talking. But anyway, I would suggest a different therapist pronto. Okay, then you need to start working working out what is behind you trying to manipulate people with these tantrums and these depressive behaviors. These are all bids for attention and caretaking like a fucking child. Okay, that's not how adults handle themselves. This is very extremely immature, attention-seeking behaviors is what you are doing. You want everyone to drop everything that they're doing and thinking about and want for themselves to take care of you and worry about your issues. I diagnosed you just reading this. So what, if I was working with you, I would get your boyfriend on the phone and say, from now on, and your mother and your father, from now on, every single thing that she wants, you do that, you tell her no. You need to get used to hearing no. And then every time that she tries to act like she will throw a tantrum and act a fool, you get up and you walk out the door and you leave her there by herself to have it. Just like I do 2-year-olds. Like I told you, I used to send my daughter to her room. You can go, you can have a tantrum, but you're gonna do it over there. It's not gonna affect my life. You're gonna go in your room, you're gonna close the door, you're gonna act a fool in there. Okay? Where nobody can see you and nobody cares what you do. That would be the treatment that you would get from everyone in your family until you saw that you wasn't going to get no reward for that shit, and then you would stop doing it because it would be bringing you no benefits. The attention that you want would not be being given to you. This is old behavior from your childhood. Bad parenting. That's what that is. But this could easily be fixed with the right kind of treatment. I just diagnose what you need to do. Now, hopefully, if you play this recording for your family, they'll get on a stick and fix you. You'll be straight in about 2 months. Let us proceed, because this is ridiculous. Oh, question number 6. Male, 18 to 21, from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and he's a Pisces. Oh, God. So first of all, I must clarify, I'm 21 and my girlfriend's 23. We've been dating for 3 months. Not that long of a time, but still enough to know each other. We met through Tinder. We matched well, and she was nice, so we started dating. And well, it stated in her bio that she was a girl, and since it didn't tell anything about her being trans, I assumed she was cis. Oh no, I see where this is going. Now, the issue is that a week ago, she revealed to me that she is actually a transgender girl, and she wanted to open to me about that. The Louisiana sentence structure is a little kind of off. After 3 months of a relationship, question. I know I shouldn't be, but I felt really angry at that moment. I just left without saying nothing. I just could get a glimpse of her face while I left, and I could see that she was hurt. But at that moment, I was so angry that I just left. We didn't talk after that. But 3 days later, I decided to send her a message ending everything, explaining that I felt betrayed and I felt like I was hidden a very important information. She didn't respond to me, and I'm not up to sending her any more messages. Another thing I should say is that I am bi and even had a boyfriend when I was younger. That's not the issue. The problem is that she hid this information from me, and I feel really betrayed. But I really feel sad remembering her hurt face when I left, and I feel guilty about it, and I feel like I might have hurt her a lot, but I have to be quite honest. I'm completely not up to going back into a relationship with her, not after that lie. What should I do in this situation? Nothing. Block her. Him. It. Shim. Whatever. Whatever. You're not interested. You felt lied to. You was betrayed. You was tricked and manipulated. You blocked that person. Now, I wouldn't give it to people be like, you're whatever, what they call it. You're transphobic and you're this and that. No, I'm not. I don't give a fuck. What I'm talking about the issue here. I would have the same attitude if this was a woman who lied to him, like say she was, I don't know, married, engaged, living with some man, whatever it is, when people manipulate and trick you into a relationship that you would not have entered if you had all the facts. That's what's the issue here. Not the fact that this person was pretending to be, a girl when he's not. Okay? So that's the issue. Manipulation, trickeration, lies, and games to get what they want out of somebody at their expense. So I just gave a whole list of ways that could happen. People do that kind of stuff. Sometimes they lie not only about, their marital status and all that kind of stuff, they lie about their age so that, like some old dude will get with some young girl and tell her knock 10 or 12 years off his age or something, and, which is already a stretch for her. But then it turns out he's even older than that. And then he wants to be with her. She's only in her 20s and stuff. I mean, all kind of people be playing all kind of trickeration and lies and stuff. People don't tell folks that they have kids that they have. All kind of, they know this person don't want any kids. Stuff like that. I mean, these are the kind of games that go on out here in the singles world. This is just one of them. This is the newest one. And to me, this is one of the most egregious ones because you represent yourself to be a whole different person than what you are. And that is just really not cool. So, for all the people who are interested in that trans stuff, if you want to go that route, you have every right to be that. You have every right. Nobody's going to tell you to stop you. But I'm going to tell you, you better open your mouth and tell people what's going on. Stop lying to people, manipulating and trying to play games with people's hearts and minds. Don't be doing that shit. That is so fucking wrong. That is so wrong. It's wrong. Okay? And then don't get upset when people react in a very angry way. His anger was very calm and controlled. Some dudes will beat your ass and others of them will kill you. Okay? Because they're not wrapped too tight. And they feel betrayed, tricked, and manipulated. Some people handle that, more maturely than others. But every time you lie to somebody and you pretend to be something that your ass is not, and then you trying to have a relationship with them, and then they find out by accident, or you finally break down and tell them months later, don't be surprised at what happens. Don't be surprised. That is some fucked up shit. Y'all need to stop doing that. It happens too often. You keep hearing about it. It's not cute. You doing to get your jollies and stuff because you want to live your fantasy that you're a woman. That bullshit will get you killed. You need to stop doing that. Some of these men are just, they be killing women right and left. So don't you think they wouldn't have no problem with you pretending to be one and you trying to use them like that? They gonna do it to you too. So, just understand the risk that's involved in that kind of game. Don't do it. Question number 7. This female 22 to 27, no location provided. I live with my boyfriend. We're both 23, and I do all the housework. I've expressed multiple times that I need him to help me out. Yet his response is, well, why didn't you ask? Here's my understanding. An adult shouldn't have to be told to take out the trash, wash dishes, or do laundry. You know full well what needs to be done, so just do it instead of waiting to be told it. He clearly knows when things need to be done. For example, he frequently will close the kitchen door when the trash smells instead of just taking out the trash. Oh no, he's he's a dusty bum. I don't want to spend my life nagging someone to do basic house maintenance, especially when I do it without being asked to. It makes me worried to have children with him when he acts like such a kid in this way. Is he just going to sit there when the baby's crying because no one asked him to get up and check on the baby? That is a good point. And I'm going to say this, this is good that you found out that he's a lazy fucking bum who expects you to do everything and take care of him like you're his mommy. So what you need to do is look for you an apartment and you need to move the fuck out and break up with him. That's what you need to do. There's no future here. You look into the future. You already see what it's like. Imagine yourself with a couple of kids and, you got a job and a house and a husband and you're going to have all the burden for doing all of this stuff, plus working your full-time job, possibly with overtime, dealing with your crazy boss and coworkers, and dealing with children and all their issues, dealing with daycare runs, all the stuff that goes on at school. You will lose your mind. And he's already showing you what kind of person he is. He's not going to change. Like you said, I've had this conversation with him, multiple times. Okay, he heard you the first time. He definitely heard you the second time. And I'm sure he heard you very well the third time, too. But what does that mean since it's not changing? That he has no intention of changing. So you keep talking. What does that mean? You're wasting your air. Watch the video I did called the sunk cost fallacy and understand what's going on here. You're wasting your time. Question number 8, female 18 to 21 from Portland, Oregon. And this is a Pisces. I keep telling my boyfriend that I don't feel loved. He doesn't care. I wonder what sign he is. She didn't put it. I've been dating him for more than a year, and we're having a lot of issues. He lies a whole lot, hides things, breaks boundaries. He always says he'll do better, but he never does. I give him chance after chance. I keep telling him that I don't feel loved, and today I've told him twice. And he said, well, what do you want me to do, dance? I cry every day because of him. Why doesn't he care? What should I do? He doesn't give a shit. Okay, this is the part I think that young women don't understand about men. You tell him what you need. He said, yeah, okay, or, he makes noises to that effect. But it doesn't happen. You're not married to him. Okay, so you look at that, and so you say it again. You use different words. I am personally the one-time person because, unless you need sign language or, Braille or something. I didn't realize you couldn't hear, you couldn't see. Maybe I didn't know that about you. So you need some other kind of way to get the message across. Braille, sign language. Gotcha. Okay, but considering that you just, a regular person and you don't have any kind of, special needs in that direction, then you heard what I said. You understood what I said. You have chosen to ignore it. You have chosen not to rise to the occasion. You have chosen not to meet my request or my needs. Young ladies, that's what that means. He's chosen to ignore what it is that you're talking about and what you claim that you need from him. He doesn't give a shit. His life is very comfortable exactly the way it is, and he has no intention of changing to do anything that you want him to do. Now, this is where it becomes important. Okay, so you are crying every day in a situation with someone, and you're asking me, why doesn't he care? Who cares why he doesn't? He doesn't. That's the only part that's important. He doesn't give a shit. So what does that mean? That means if you want to feel loved, you need to go find that feeling so get that need fulfilled elsewhere. That's what that means. This guy's only there for the butt. Okay, I know that's hard for you to understand. You don't really want to understand it. Yeah, and Helen Keller could understand you, right? Stevie Wonder too. All that. Everybody. But this guy, he's not trying to do it. You know how that saying going? I'm not trying to hear that. That's what's going on here. He don't care. So what you do is you just tell him, I don't want to be with you anymore. You talking about that you've been with him for more than a year and we've having a lot of issues and he lies a whole lot. He hides things. He breaks boundaries. He always says he'll do better, but he never does. I give him chance after chance. So, the one who's being stupid here is you. He's been himself the whole time. But you just keep staying with him, just thinking that by magic he's going to change into be something else. And this, of course, is not going to happen. So you're the one who has to wise up and make a choice to move on is you. I suggest you get busy doing it. Question number 9, female 22 to 27 from, oh, wait, how you pronounce this? Bournemouth? Bournemouth in Dorset, England. Okay, I don't know how you pronounce it. Anyway, me and my husband have 2 children, a 4-year-old boy and a 2-year-old girl. The past few months, I have become so broody, constantly thinking about having another baby. The problem is, I don't know if I could cope with a 3rd child. I struggle with my mental health, depression, anxiety, PTSD, and from the birth trauma. Ooh. We have little to no help with childcare. My son is long-term sick off school, so I have them both at home all day, every day. Everything is pointing to not having another child, but why do I feel like this? The thought of not having another is heartbreaking. I'm only 27 and I feel too young to say I'll never have another baby, but I honestly don't know if I could cope with another one. It's really getting me down. I wish this feeling of wanting another would go, but it's so strong. What should I do? You should get in your car. And you should go to the pound or to a pet store. Yeah, because usually they don't have puppies in the pound, but they do have them at pet stores. And you go and you mash your nose on the glass, and you look at the little puppies and then you pick one and then you bring it home. Baby puppies are just like babies. They cry, they piss everywhere, they destroy shit, get into shit. I mean, it's just like having a baby, but it'll grow up a little bit faster and you can train it better. It may even help with your PTSD and what all these issues you got, anxiety, all that stuff. Because what people have pets, they sit there and they rub them, or the pets, lick on their face and sleep with them and all this kind of stuff. So this could be actually, now that I think about it, this is probably one of my better suggestions. This is probably just what you need. And it will give you some different kind of companionship and a distraction from whatever it is that's going on in your head that's making you think that with your mental illness, PTSD, and no help with the kid that you already got, that you need to have a 3rd baby. You talking about depression. You ain't seen depression until you have 3 kids running around getting on your goddamn nerves. So you don't have time for no hobbies yet. Get you a puppy. Okay, that can be your hobby. Training it. Now she's had this, we can't say it's hormones because she's had this for a long time. She's been dealing with all of this stuff. The PTSD, I think, is new. She said it's birth trauma. but from which kid we don't know. And but the depression, anxiety, that's she probably already had that before the kids were even born. But I'm thinking that the stress of you already holding on by your fingernails. You don't need to add a child to that mix, girlfriend. Stop it. Get you a puppy. You'll be all right. Question number 10, female, 28 to 34 from Southern California. The mate's gender is a young man in the 22 to 27 age group. Oh, so she's in the older. I just turned 29 last month and started getting really fit and confident. While male attention isn't something new to me, I'm really feeling myself lately. I signed up for a gym membership and I've been more confident than ever. On my last 2 trips to the gym, I spotted a pretty cute guy who has been looking my way. He even approached me and we exchanged numbers. The idea of a friends with benefits situation seems really pleasing. Maybe mostly benefits and less friendship. While I know a lot of people make the mistake of hoping it will be more, I am genuinely in a happy, confident place and I just want to have fun. I am far from lonely. I have one big problem though. I was raised fairly traditionally, and while my need for thrill and new eggplants are firing up, I can't help but hear the judgment of my conservative family members in the back of my head condemning me for such a thing. And if I don't tell them, it's this unnecessary sexist guilt which plagues me and has stopped me from having this kind of fun on many occasions. I feel like I've wasted a lot of good years choosing to be more reserved. How can I come out of this shell and just have some fun? Well, this is the kind of thing, if this has been your whole program, your programming since childhood, that's not going to be easy. It's the same kind of thing, I try to explain to people like, say a woman is like the goody two shoes type of woman who never wanted to really sleep around. She's like, virginal and pure and everything. And then she gets married. And then it's just interesting how those husbands expect because, everything's supposed to be different right now that she's married. Okay, but do you think that because she walked down an aisle in a cute dress and said I do and danced and cut a cake that 20 whatever years of programming to be chaste and all stuff that goes away, that the association with being sexual is a negative one in her mind, is one associated with being a harlot, loose morals, not Christian, not pure, not one of like a woman pure enough for Boab or Boaz or whoever the hell. There's a lot of programming that gets taught to girls to make them ashamed of their interest in that direction. And then people expect that it automatically is going to go away just because they did get married. You at least are old, you're a little older, and you're at 29, you're older than a lot of these girls I'm talking about, and you've been out in the world enough, living independently and all of that. So you are going to be approaching this from a different way. What you have to do is get a hold of your mind, though. Think about as you start having those thoughts, what you gonna do to banish them. I can't do that for you. That's gonna be something you're gonna have to do. When you start hearing those negative tapes, those judgmental tapes, those condemning things, negative stuff about you being a sexual woman, then you are going to have to do whatever it is you need to do to turn that voice off in your head. Say, no, I deserve to have this. No, I don't have to be married to enjoy, physical pleasures with a man that I'm interested in. Who said you have to be in love and you definitely don't have to marry him? Totally overplayed. But that's the direction you need to go. Now, how you arrest your negative thoughts, what techniques you're gonna use that's gonna work best for you, I can't even venture a guess. You know yourself. I don't know you. But that is the goal anyway. When you're going to start hearing those tapes of voices in your head, you got to shut them down. And every time you do that, you gain a little bit more power over yourself. Until, probably within a very short order, a month or 2 or 3, you'll be all right. You'll be like, ooh, yes. Hi, what's your name is? How old is you? Are you legal? Yeah. Are you over 18? That works for me. She says even if she doesn't tell him, this is all internal stuff. So she knows not to do that. But she was still talking about how she's, going to wrestle with it because even if she doesn't tell them, she's telling herself. That's what she said. So, the message is for her to get more mental control. That's what it is. You just have to figure out really if you want your life, you want to live your life to make yourself happy, or you going to be living your life to please other people. Make that choice, and then the rest will be easy. Question number 11, female, 35 to 41 from Liverpool, England. My mum, so cute. My mum is 74, and my stepdad left her out of the blue 4 years ago. Since then, she has gone downhill emotionally and physically. The house that my mum and stepdad owned together was sold, and my mum has moved in with my brother in a flat in London. I live with my partner in a 3-bedroom home with a lovely garden. My mum would like to come and stay with us for a maximum of 2 weeks to have a break and a change of scenery. I would love my mum to come and stay as I'm very close to her, but my partner isn't too keen. He says that she interferes when she stays and feels like an outsider. I don't see that my mum interferes. She just keeps herself occupied by cleaning her house and gardening whilst we are at work. I don't know what to do. Have her come anyway. That's what you're going to do. Okay, so she's going to come and you're going to take a week off of work. And you and your mum is going to go someplace away from your partner and his little pissy mood. Okay? So then by the time you guys come back, she'll only be there for a week. Now, this accomplishes two things. Number one is you get time with your mother without having to look at his sour ass face, hear him whine and stomp around and look stupid. Okay, you get time. You guys get to go out together and have fun. I'm sure you have some money. Then number two thing it accomplishes is it puts him on the timeout with a very good excuse. So it's not like you just leaving him. You leaving to take your mother somewhere since he don't want her at the house, right? You're gonna flip that shit back on him and make him be sputtering and looking stupid because he's gonna miss you. Of course he's not. He just wants you to go anywhere. He wants your mother not to be there. He just ain't anything about not wanting you to go there. But guess what, homeschooler? This is a package deal. If I'm here, then my mama can be here. Otherwise, we'll both be gone. Since you don't want her here, I'm gonna go with her. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. So then you go and you come, like I said, you come back. He'll be so happy that you back. He might have a little attitude and be tripping out the first day or two, but he'll be so happy that you back. You won't hear that problem again. And then you tell him, and every time my mother wants to come, that's what I'm gonna do. Next time I might even be gone for 2 weeks. The whole time she wants to be away from my brother, I'll take her someplace else. Is that what you want? So you have to make him lose something. He needs to be punished for his little fucked up attitude. His attitude should be, your mother is 74 years old. She's probably not going to be around that much longer. Let's have her come here. Let's work together and show her a good time and show her some love and support. She lost her husband. She lost her house. She lost everything. He's not thinking about that. All he's thinking about is himself. That's why his little fucking ass would get put on a timeout and I'd be gone. You have to learn how to think. See, women be too nice to these men. This is the part that drives me crazy. You guys always want to, bend to them and give them what the fuck they want. You tell his ass, no, that ain't gonna happen. But you see, you're gonna do it in such a way that he's not gonna be able to say nothing. You see what I mean? This is strategy. This is strategy. This is how my mind works. It's like, oh, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna make your ass real sorry that you said that, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna be passive aggressive. I learned that trick from white girls, how to be passive aggressive. So you get people, but they don't even know they didn't got until later. I learned that shit. Okay, then this is a perfect example of it. So this is what honey, I really respect the fact that you don't want my mom here, but she is 74, and I do need to see her and spend some time with her before she passes, and I don't want to, look on this time and with regret the time I could have spent with her and I didn't. So I'm gonna have her come. She'll be here one night, and then we're gonna take off and we're gonna go to, I don't know. Where the hell are you? You in Liverpool. Okay, like go down to Brighton to where the beach areas and stuff. Go to Brighton or something, or go to the mountains, or go to some other country. I mean, do something. Get on the train and go somewhere. Do something. And go, sightseeing and have fun and go to restaurants and get a massage and do all kind of girl stuff with your mother. And then send him pictures of y'all. Send him some of your selfies and your tour shots and stuff. Oh, so you're having such a great time with mom. What you call her, mom? And this and that. Oh, he gonna be at home just being just all kinds of mad. And you're not gonna be showing no kind of emotional concern for him. Yes, mom is this and mom is that. And it was so wonderful, this and that. Honey, yeah, by the time you get home, he gonna have a whole new attitude. Oh, the English countryside. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea, huh? It'd probably be pretty. walking around in some snow or shit or something. I don't know what the weather's like, but and I don't know when the mom is coming. So yeah, it might be spring. You guys could go out there and pick wildflowers and have all kinds of fun, do all kind of shit. But whatever you're gonna do, and you're not gonna be calling him every day either. And if he texts and calls you, you're gonna ignore him. Oh, I was so busy with mom. We were just doing that and this and that, blah blah. I would wear his ass out. He would never want to turn my mother down away again. He would be like, "Oh yeah, your mother, she can come. You guys are gonna stay here though, right? Or if you guys go somewhere, can I come?" No man has a chance against me. I'm just like, I'm so sorry, dudes. I'm just like, don't ever tell me no. Just do what I ask you to do, and then we can have a good time. The second you start trying to exert your masculinity and try to tell me something, we're gonna have a problem. I don't take no for an answer. You're going to do things my way. If you don't, you're going to be sorry that you didn't. That's how I work things. Question number 12, female 18 to 21 from New Hampshire. She's a Cancer, and her man is 50. This can't be right. 50 to 56, unless she's talking about her dad. Okay, let's see what it says. Hello, Auntie Deb. I'm so sorry to hear of the retinal detachment. I'm glad you are better. My question relates to this. Yeah, I was talking about my eyeball. I had to have surgery on it. It's acting stupid. This whole year, I am scared of this happening and higher risk for spontaneous detachment because I'm a -7 prescription glasses, and that makes the eyeball longer, and the retina can tear or detach easily. I've been getting checkups. I said something to my dad that he didn't like it, so he started cursing at me, saying that I'm stupid. I said, "Stop calling me a effing idiot B." Oh my, his words. Your daddy called you that? He took his pants with the belt through them and threw them at the back of my head as I was leaving, and then threw more harder material clothing from the laundry at me. I would have shot my daddy. Okay. He used to hit me physically, but we live in my grandpa's house, and he found out my dad does that, and they fought over it, and my dad beat on my grandpa too. Wait a minute, where are you again? Hold on a second, I forgot that quick. Oh, you in New Hampshire. Okay, this is in the U.S. I'm worried these factors will cause a retinal detachment. Any head trauma and myopia is never a good formula. On top of that, I came back in my room and overheard my dad saying I'm a failure, and he wishes my sister were his only child to my mom. I live at home in my family culture. This is normal. I don't have the ability to leave. I hate to sound sad and stupid, but I don't have much support. The squad feels like family to me. Sorry this is so much. Would like your reality check for me. Love to you all. Oh my God. Okay. How old is your grandpa? If your grandpa, I don't know, like here in California, they just dropped the age down for adult protective services to the age of 60. I think in some states it's 62 and others it's still 65. You check out what that is, and then you call APS and you make a report and say that your father has been beating on your elderly grandfather. They will send some investigators over there. And you know what? If they find out that it's true, you know what's going to happen to your daddy? He's going to get kicked the fuck out. He will be kicked out of the house because it's a dangerous situation. And then they find out, you tell them what happened to you too. So he's beating on the oldest and the youngest person in the household. And if your grandfather says he needs you there because, he needs you to help take care of him, well, then they will make your daddy leave. He will have to go. And he will not be allowed back in that house. And just think how lovely that will be. But it all depends on how old your grandfather is. Since you're young, you're only 18 to 21, he might not be old enough yet, but you can go and investigate. Okay, make some phone calls and find out what the age is for Adult Protective Services intervention in New Hampshire. Because your daddy he needs to be kicked out. He does not need to be in the house with y'all because he don't know how to act. That violence and stuff is just stupid. That's what I would recommend now. If your grandfather's too young, what are we going to do? I think the next time he hits you, call the police on his ass. I don't know, but you don't say what your culture is, and I don't know if that's, okay, but the fact that he's hitting you as a young girl, that's inappropriate. And then throwing things at you that could, further make you have a serious medical condition requiring surgical repair, that's dangerous. I don't really see any reason that he need to find Guido now. That's what need to happen to Daddy. He need to be disappeared. Guido and Malik now need to come by and say, that motherfucker right there? Like, yeah. And then you never see your daddy again. So I wonder what happened to Dad. Well, I don't know. I think he went back to the old country. Fucker. Yeah. I mean, if I were you, I mean, you obviously are not evil like me, but I would have been plotting his demise. He would have been all kind of police reports piled on him. I would have saved my money so I could hire somebody to make his ass get beat up. You like to hit on folks so bad. Let's see how it works out when they doing it to you. Have two dudes stomp, kick, punch, drop kick him, just hit him with stuff, break him his ribs, break his arms, all kind of stuff. And then say, yeah, now you hit your daughter again, we're going to be back. And see how he likes that. That's what I would do. I wouldn't care if I had to borrow money and sell cans, collect cans to get the money. I would make sure I paid somebody that was bigger and stronger than me to come and just fuck him up because he needs a taste of his own medicine. See, but that's how I think. I don't know if you think like me, but that's what he needs. Question number 13, female, 22 to 27 from Ottawa, Canada. I really love my guy. We are both 26. He has a good heart and is incredibly good to me. We've been together long distance for a little over a year. He lives in Winnipeg. Okay, wait, so Winnipeg and Ottawa. Where's Sue's ass? Okay, I know some people in here from Canada. That sounds pretty far. Okay, I guess that's why she said long distance, Deborrah. Okay, things are fine when we are apart, but when we're together in person, I find some habits of his very odd and irksome. I feel horrible for noticing them so much and disliking them, but they turn me off. A few examples are the way he licks all of his fingers after he eats something. Yeah, that would make me nuts too. How he tries to plan the day multiple times throughout the day, but is indecisive, so it goes nowhere. And how he complains about stuff often. I know he already feels insecure about being authentic due to childhood trauma rather, of being criticized when he expresses himself. So I really just want to be able to let these annoyances go without having a conversation with him. Oh, that's it? Usually people sum it up like, what do I do? Or, what's the end? They close. You just like dropped sentences. Okay. I'm gonna say this. The key thing here is that you've been dating him long distance for over a year, and then when you guys are together, it's great. But when you're in his, together, then he's odd and irksome. So what that means is he's odd and irksome in a relationship, and that you just don't have you far away, so you don't really are in a position to really be noticing it until you go where he is or he comes to where you are. So what am I going to say? What is the bottom line here? If a man is odd and irksome, it's never going to work. No matter what you say, no matter what you try to do, no matter how you try to portray this, it ain't going to work, girlfriend. Because, you've only been dealing with him for a little over a year and you already find so many things and get on your fucking nerves about him. That's never going to work. Normally during that phase, he's like, oh my God, he's so cute. He's so wonderful. It's so lovely. No, he's perfect. He's perfect. I love everything about him. That's usually where you are when you only been together a year. You already tired of his ass and talking about how he gets on your nerves. This is gonna go nowhere but downhill because the more comfortable they get, the more they get on your nerves. So, I'm sorry you really love him. That's unfortunate because it's just you guys gonna end up breaking up. And the longer you stay in a situation with a man he's gonna wait, and you're gonna wait until you actually explode on him, saying stuff like, you make me sick. It's gonna be like War of the Roses. I hate everything about you. I hate the way you chew. I hate the way you look. I hate everything about you. Kathleen Turner's character, I'm telling you, that scene that Michael Douglas with his bed head just sitting there looking all, like, oh, she's talking bad about me. Funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. But Yeah, we all know once you get one right, they be on their best behavior first. And then once they feel like they got you, that's when all hell breaks loose. They start walking by, striking poses, farting on you. They don't care that they're going to be trying to hide their skid mark drawers. They pull off their shoes that have funk in them and smell them and then throw them at you, thinking you're trying to dodge the funk. They don't brush their teeth like they used to and put fresh clothes on and stuff. They just smell the shirt. Yeah, I mean, it's only light eau de funk. This is tolerable. Let's go. That kind of stuff. Man, it's just a trip. So I would not recommend that you waste any more time in this situation. Find you somebody else. Question number 14, male. You guys know I'm telling the truth. That's why you laughing. We've all had men like that in our lives. Male, 28 to 34, from Dover in Kent in the UK. I feel like I can't be friends with women. Why do you think this happens? For the record, I'm a 30-year-old man in a happy relationship. I have always loved having female friends, but it's been hard over the last few years and has to do with the women's boyfriends. For example, I befriended a girl from work and we became Facebook buddies. All I did was like a pic of her and her son and said, "Nice pic." And a bit later, she confessed that her boyfriend thinks we like each other. After they broke up and she found a new guy, the same thing happened, even though I didn't like her that way or say anything inappropriate. A good friend of 10 years cut me out of her life after I sent her a drawing of a wolf. She loves him in the mail. I'm positive her boyfriend pushed her to do it. There, there are other instances, but I feel like I can't be friends with women. I'm seriously not interested in eggplant, but friendly buddy type companionship. I have male friends too. Well, then, you know what? You at that age group where, okay, you 28 to 34, so you're 30. So that means some of these women are going to be young, sound like they're probably younger than you. And I'm going to tell you, young women are stupid. Okay, they haven't found themselves yet. They're still caught up in the matrix of pleasing a boyfriend instead of pleasing themselves. So when you have a situation like what you described, you like a picture of her and her son, and he's saying that you like each other, he's getting all insecure and stupid. See, a person like me would say, you know what? Either you shut up because what is on my social media don't have shit to do with you. And somebody liking my picture is, I mean, that's what people have the like button for. It's a cute picture. That's why I put it online. I want people to like it. Okay? And then, for her to you send her a picture of a wolf, that's a very thoughtful thing to do for someone who is a friend of yours. But for her to just stop talking to you after that, that means to do well. Who's this motherfucker? Why is he sending you? And so she, being nervous instead of just telling him, "Fuck you, then get the fuck out of my life." You're not gonna dictate to me who I can be friends with. You've been friends with him. I've known him longer than I've known you. So see, that's the kind of stuff I've said to men that tried to pull little stunts like that. I don't let them get that stranglehold in my life. You can't get no footing here with that kind of stuff. You ain't telling me what to do, how to do it, who I can talk to, where I can go, what I'm gonna wear, nothing. You're not telling me shit. Okay? But most young women don't do that. They don't have that kind of personal fortitude. And so the guy says, "Well, I want this," and they be like, "Oh, okay." Because they are still caught in that thing where they want to please men. I've never given a fuck about pleasing a man. The only thing I did want kid please my dad because if I got straight A's, I got money. And I want to please bosses so I can get that fat ass raise and bonuses and stuff. But it's not about them being a man. It's about them being in a position where I could come up because they have the purse strings. It could be a woman. It could be a frog. I wouldn't give a fuck who it is as long as that person's gonna give me some money. I'm all over that. What I need to do? It's legal. I'll do it. It's not gonna be demeaning to me or nothing. That I'm all over that. But you got so many women who don't have that kind of mentality, sir. So for you, if you want to be friends with a woman, I'm going to suggest that you look at older women. Older women have already arrived at the "I don't give a fuck what a man says" stage. And it might be good for you at 30 because they can teach you things about women and about life and help you, mature and grow up faster and get a better understanding of life and stuff. They can teach you things. So that would be my suggestion. You definitely can be friends with women, but you have to be friends with women who are confident and secure and have a fucking spine, and the ones that you had don't meet those criteria. Question number 15, female, 28 to 34 from California. Oh, wait, it says CA. That could be California. That could be Canada. So we don't know where this person's from. CA. And she's a Taurus. and the male's gender is a male, 28 to 34, say they same age group, and he's a Gemini. A Gemini with a Taurus? I've heard of that, but it never works. Oh, hello, Deb. I'm a stay-at-home mom of two boys, 5 and 7, and unfortunately, I'm 7 months pregnant with another damn boy. I expressed to him early on that I wanted to abort, but he said God will make a way, which I think is complete bullshit. He even threatened me with divorce if I aborted it. Our marriage is toxic and our financial situation is just as bad. We have no business having another child, but he doesn't see it that way. By the way, my husband only makes about 70,000 a year. Dang, around here you would be living in a tent. He gave me about a quarter of his paycheck. He gives me a quarter of his paycheck. I use my allowance to buy groceries, essential items, and if possible, I save. The issue is I often end up having to give him back my allowance or the money I've been saving because he runs out of money. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so he's got two kids and you. So his on his deductions W-2 it should say four, at least four, possibly five. You guys got a mortgage, you got another kid on the way. So he can get away with putting five on his paycheck deduction. So it's 70 grand. Let's see. Wonder what his health insurance and all that kind of stuff is. But still, he should be bringing home at least like 1800 every paycheck. Okay, so he gives you a quarter. That ain't shit. You need to be giving him half. He's giving you half or three quarters. Okay, he runs out of money. We don't have that many bills, and our condo is very cheap, $850 a month. But we do have a large debt, so I'm wondering if that's why he runs out of money. We took out a $5,000 loan for our truck, which was paid off a couple of years ago, then two or three smaller loans after that. High interest rates and a few missed payments. The loan is now at 14 grand. What? That's double what we purchased the truck for. I went completely broke on Christmas Eve when the truck broke down. I had to give him the money I had been saving for a car rental to get us through. I also had to give my husband the only gift I got for Christmas, a $50 check from my great aunt, so he was able to make it to his workers' comp doctor's appointment. My account is on the negative because he used my card on credit to get gas to make it to that appointment. Now I have to ask my older sister and my best friend for money. He rarely asks anyone for money, and he never does any type of side hustle. I have dreams of owning a small business and establishing a few streams of income, but he doesn't seem that interested in supporting me with my endeavors, and I don't know where to start. I wasn't sure why. I have a hard time figuring things out on my own, so I took an adult autism test, and the results indicated that I have a strong likelihood of Asperger's syndrome or autism. Oh no. I also scored moderate indication of ADD ADHD. I recently filed for divorce online, but it's not official yet. I don't know what I should do in the meantime to protect my savings and allowance from him. Please help with any suggestions on what I should be focusing on. Greatly appreciate. Well, this is a lot for this, the time frame that I have in this column, which is, 2 to 3 minutes for each question. But I'm going to say this. Stop giving him money. Okay, it's $70,000 and he runs out of money. What the fuck is he doing with all that money? What is it? I mean, you're at home and so you're not going nowhere. It's not like you guys live a fancy lifestyle. What is he doing with all the money? It's gonna be interesting because once you get divorced, he's gonna have to start paying child support, and you're gonna have 3 kids. He's also gonna have to pay alimony because you haven't been working. He's gonna have to give you some money. You'll have to get a job, but you will most likely be able to get some kind of assistance with, because CA, I don't know where you are. You should be able to get some kind of assistance with childcare so that you can go back to work or back to school to get a degree or something like that. But if I were you, what I would look into, wherever you are, it's California or Canada, because I don't know where the hell CA is, then look at social services and see what kind of programs they have for people in your situation and see what you can do about it. What kind of help you can get with you and your 3 kids. And then don't be too embarrassed to take it. Okay, don't be still turning your nose up in the air talking about, oh, I'm too proud. She already filed for divorce. Y'all late. She's already filed for divorce. She's doing that already. But What you need to, that would be my first step for you. Investigate any and all possible resources: housing, assistance with, energy payments, assistance with food, job training, transportation. I mean, whatever they have. And most of it is usually short term because they give you, certain length of time, usually about 2 to 3 years, to get on your feet, and they help you a lot during that period of time. But then after that, they expect you to be independent. And if you keep your nose to the grindstone, you should be all right with that. But that's your first. That's what you need to do. Okay, and then they'll be able to give you exact instructions and direction, and probably more resources for the actual area where you are. Which, like I said, could be a whole nother country, or it could be just the state of California. You put CA, nobody knows what the hell that means. Okay. Question number 16, male, 22 to 27, from Doncaster, South Yorkshire, England. To start, I just wanted to say that I love my girlfriend very much and that she is great, and that I don't judge her at all for her past eggplant experiences. I completely get why she did it, and I probably would have done the same thing given the opportunity. For the last year, we've been together for just over a year. I've been overthinking a lot about a time when my girlfriend was 19 and slept with an older guy who was 28 at the time. This surprised me as I'm usually very carefree and I'm quite open sexually. And I get that this overthinking is all really irrational and quite frankly stupid, considering it was before we even met and was just a hookup. But I picture it vividly every day and it just makes me feel quite low. They met at a bar. She went back to his a week later and then he ghosted her after. He also choked her without consent, which makes me so sad and angry. I guess I always had a view that older guys messing around with teenagers was creepy. I've been seeing a therapist for this, and more recently, my girlfriend has started to see someone too after she realized how predatory the situation actually was. Do you think that it bothers me because it highlights my own insecurities? What advice do you have on how to overcome this? Slap the shit out of yourself because it's stupid. Hopefully, your therapist will help you understand how stupid it is. It happened before she even met you. What the fuck? You just gonna erase her whole life before she met you? The main thing I don't understand is why she told you. See, this lady, perfect example of why I say don't tell me and stuff like this. They can't fucking handle it. They cannot handle it. They want to ask you that question, but you need to shut up and then just do like I say. Well, why would you want to know that? You know you don't really want to know that because you know the answer's going to hurt all your feelings and you're going to be all bent out of shape and twisted up around about it. So we're going to just act like you didn't ask that question. That's what we're going to do. And you don't never answer it. Never tell me anything. They want a number, you don't give them one. They want to know, well, was he better than me, bigger than me, faster than me, stronger than me? You don't have no comment. Unless you want to act stupid and say, yeah, his nickname was Hercules. Or something just to fuck with him. I mean, if I was sick of him, I would say all kind of stuff. But, if you care about the guy and you're not sick of him, you don't answer those kinds of questions. And he's going to say, well, why won't you tell me you have something to hide? Okay, I have something to hide. Now, does that change anything for you? Does that make you feel better to say that to me? Do you feel better? You're going to say one more thing and we're going to break up because I'm not going to be berated like this. I'm not going to be talked to like this. I'm not going to be treated like this. So you got one more time. You got one more time. And see what they do. Because usually what they do is, they start looking at you because they're trying to see if you're serious. And then, you look at their neck and they had an Adam's apple thing and you could see it go up and down while they swallow, while they be thinking like, because their eyes be doing this kind of thing here while they're considering all possibilities. And then you watch their neck and they swallow a couple of times. The Adam's apple go up and down, and then they shut the fuck up. Shut up, glass eyes. Whew, I would be running from that myself. Question number 17. Female, 22 to 27, from Rockhampton, Australia. I get really, really jealous, sad, and depressed when my boyfriend hangs out with his friends. 22 to 27, okay. He really doesn't hang with them often and spends almost all of his time with me. At the moment, one of his friends is at his house and is staying the night. And I'm just sitting here in my room crying since 2 hours because of this. And I really, something of me, okay, put some stars. Oh, it must be, and it really F's me because I know it's my fault and I really don't know what I can do about it. He had the same problem a year ago, but he somehow managed to handle it. He said it kind of was because he missed his friends. But I'm not really a person that likes to hang with friends. So I tried to understand why I feel this way today, and I came up with these 2 points. One, he and his friend are watching Netflix together tonight. They watch a new season of a series that just came out. It makes me sad that he's able to watch 8 hours of Netflix with his friends, but when we try to watch one episode of one movie, he just falls asleep every time. And number two, he rarely ever texts me when he's with his friends, even though he knows how bad I'm feeling. I actually had more points, but I forgot them while I was writing to you, LMAO. And when I think about it, if it's really that bad, I come to the conclusion, no, it's not. And then it's good for like 5 minutes, and then I start crying again. It's like an endless cycle. Next summer, he's going to a summer camp. He was there 2 years ago, too. And it was one of the worst weeks of my life. I would rather actually die than feel like this again. I don't know how I can manage this. And as if it wasn't bad enough, the camp is exactly at my birthday. So he can't celebrate with me. I already cried as much because of this, and it's still 7 months away. I can't really think he understands me, but I feel bad if I say so because he tries his best to cheer me up most of the time. I really wish he had a happy girlfriend. He's gonna wish that too, and that's when he's gonna get rid of your depressed Eeyore whining ass. That's what's gonna happen to you. You're gonna get dumped, like unceremoniously and just like over the phone, or by worse yet, by text. And you know what? You would have deserved it. And I won't even feel sorry for you because this is fucking ridiculous for you to be this old and acting this stupid. Do you honestly think a man wants to be up under a woman all the fucking time? Your ass is not that interesting and not that special and not that entertaining that any man would want to be looking at you all the time. You know, he can only get so much pussy, and then after that, he's going to want to do something else. Did you forget about that? You ain't that cute and you ain't that entertaining that somebody want to look at you all the time. Okay, that's the reality check that you needed. Now, him and his friend watching Netflix. You know why they can watch Netflix together? Because they don't just sit there and watch it. They're talking shit to each other. They play fighting with each other. They go in the kitchen to get beers. They're talking over the movie. You know how men do. And plus, it's something that they want to see as men. You probably want them to sit there and watch something like, Letter in a Bottle or some romantic shit. And, that's he don't want to see that. He want to see some man stuff. Now, if you would watch that, he probably would watch with you. But I can tell that's not your speed. You that emotional, depressive kind. They just want to talk about feelings all the goddamn time. Nobody want to be bothering with you. And he rarely texts you when he's with his friends. Why should he? He's having fun with his friends. You're not fun. You're anti-fun. Okay? You're anti-fun, and ain't nobody trying to be texting you and change gears and deal with your depressed sob story mood and then go back to having fun with his friends. So you know what he does? He puts you on a corner on the timeout and he just has fun with his friends. So what's going to happen? He's going to get tired of dealing with you and all these negative feelings that you have, and he's going to fly you out of his life like boop, and you're going to be flying through the air and then go land wherever it is that depressed silly bitches go and land, because that's what's going to happen to you. This just makes no damn sense. You couldn't even remember the bullshit you was all bad about while you was writing the letter, and then had the nerve to be laughing about it. She just found it fucking exhausting. I don't know. If I was a dude, I would not have a girlfriend like that. She would have one time. Oh, I'm sad, I'm depressed. Well, bitch, what you gonna do about it? Because don't think you're gonna be trying to put that burden on me. What do you see a shrink? Have a drink. What you gonna do? Hit the gym? What? What you gonna do about it? What's the plan? Oh, I want you to be with me. Fuck no, I'm out. And they would say, that's the most insensitive man I've ever met. And I'd be like, yeah, but I'm free, yo bitch ass. Woohoo, yay me. I'm just, she don't need to get invited there. A group of dudes. What she need to have her ass there for? That's inappropriate to even suggest. He's with his friends. Those are dudes. It's male bonding time. Okay, stay your ass at home and do something with your friends. She is just the worst. I wish he had a happy girlfriend. He gonna have one, but it ain't gonna be you. Question number 18, male, 22 to 27, again, North York, Canada, and he is a Capricorn. I need to know if it's worth trying to be friends with a woman who doesn't have mutual romantic feelings. No, it's not. I'm 23 and I went out with a woman who's 25 a couple of times, and we seem to really hit it off and have great chemistry. We have similar senses of humor, and we have and had a lot of fun on the 2 dates that we did go on. It seemed like there was mutual attraction, and while we didn't have any eggplant, there was a lot of making out, and things did get quite physical. But a couple of days later, she told me that she didn't actually have any romantic feelings for me, which was quite confusing given what happened. But she also said multiple times that she thinks we could be really good friends and wants to see me in the new year. I did have romantic feelings for her, but given we only saw each other a couple of times, it wouldn't be particularly hard to get over them. And I also think we could be good friends, but I'm just a little unsure. Is it worth attempting to see if we can be friends, or do you think she was just saying that she wants to see me as a cop out? It doesn't matter what she was saying. The bottom line is you don't want a damn friend. Man the fuck up. Some woman trying to throw you that damn friendship crumb, you reject that shit summarily. I'm not trying to be your damn friend, bitch. Please get the fuck off my phone and out of my life. You don't want to be with me the way I want you to be with me, then you don't get no parts of me. And that's just the way it is. And then you block her ass. I don't understand this. I mean, and this is the same thing I would tell a woman. Some dude, you know, was rejecting her, and then she talking about, well, we can be friends. No, nigga, we not gonna be friends. I don't have friends like you. You a piece of shit. What the fuck I want to be friends with you for? I don't want you for a boyfriend, and I don't want you as a friend because you ain't one. Get the fuck out of here. These people be tripping. They talking about let's be friends. No, I don't want to be your goddamn friend. They don't even know how to spell the shit. They're trying to throw somebody a bone. Have more pride about yourself and stop trying to be friends with exes. Once they decide they don't want to be with you, then they don't get no parts of you. Consider yourself wonderful, a prize, fun, beautiful, exciting, all of that. And if you have all those kind of wonderful things and opinions about yourself, then don't nobody get to tell you that they just want a little piece of you and that's going to be all that they take. No, I want to be with a man who wants all of me, just like he's going to give me all of him. If that ain't going to be you, then motherfucker, you don't get no parts of me. How about that? That's the way it should be. Yeah, I have enough friends. I have 2 friends. That's plenty. I'm just like, these people be tripping. So anyway, sir, you know, you don't have to use my language, but that kind of shit pisses me off. And so she would have got, the choice words. But, you might be a more genteel and polite individual than I. And so you might just say, oh, well, thank you. I'm going to pass. I'm really looking for a relationship. I don't really want to have a bunch of female friends. But I hope you find what you're looking for. That would be the polite thing to say. But why should I? I'm not polite. I don't like to be polite. It's a waste of time. Plus people, when I leave, I like to make like a statement. I like to make like an explosion. I want to make like, some shit happen, some memorable kind of moment. I like to make a grand exit. And, being all polite, that doesn't accomplish that. And I like to put some shit down so people be like, oh, goddamn. And they be sitting there blinking like this and happy I'm gone. That's what I like. Question 19, female 18 to 21 out of Sacramento. Deb, why is it that some women can easily get significant others and others don't? I just turned 21, but I have always struggled with dating. I've never had a boyfriend ever. And even when I've taken long periods of time to work on myself and build myself up, nothing ever clicks with anybody, and I remain invisible. Meanwhile, other girls I've known throughout middle school and now, where was I? I lost my place. Through middle school and high school and now college can pretty much just blink and get into a relationship. There are even some girls I know who are coupled up more than they are single. We'll talk about that in a minute. One of the biggest things I'm struggling with now is comparison. I know that comparison is unhealthy and the thief of joy, but sometimes I just can't help it. I have family and friends I love and care about. I have hobbies and passions and interests, but the boyfriend thing has never worked out for me. Meanwhile, for other women, I know it's the easiest thing in the world. It's frustrating. I know that I'm a kind person with a lot of love to give, and it sucks to never be able to express it in this specific way. So now my question is, why do you think it is that some women can easily get a significant other and some women struggle getting one their whole life? How can you put yourself into a more successful category? Okay, first of all, you in the 18 to 21, okay, you just turned 21 and you using the phrase their whole life? I want to choke the shit out of your little ass right about now. First of all, don't you listen to this column? Don't you listen to these shows? Don't you see all these girls, they older than you, 22, 27 age group for the most part, in these sick, sordid, and twisted relationships with psychological, mental, emotional, and financial abuse up the yin yang? These men don't love them. They're using them. But guess what? They all have a boyfriend. And you're sitting there thinking that you're missing something, that they have something that you don't, that they have a prize, and you're the only one in the whole kingdom of the whole planet that doesn't have this prize. I'm going to tell you, if you are confused about what's going on and with these quote boyfriends, listen to a couple of these videos. Okay, listen to the agony that these girls are in. Listen to the abuse and the mistreatment that they in with these damn boyfriends that they have. Sometimes husbands too. Ain't shit. None of them. Okay, and then I want you to really give this some serious thought. And what exactly is it that you think that you're missing? And don't you understand, if you was the kind of bitch that would just take any motherfucker that comes along, you could always have a man. And that's what the ones that say they coupled up more than they are single, that's what they're doing. Any dude that comes along with his dick in his hand, they're like making it into a boyfriend. Does that mean that they're loved, respected, and treated well? It doesn't mean anything like that. It means they have somebody all up in their bed. That's what that means. Okay, does not mean anything else. You looking at it like something to be envied, and desired. It's bullshit. Okay, the difference is these girls don't have the self-esteem and the self-awareness that you have. So they just go from man to man, man to man, man to man. Just any man that pays attention to them, they in a relationship. Trying to quote, make it work. I want you to slow your roll, and I want you to do some serious thinking about what kind of relationship, what does that mean? What are you really looking for? What components must be necessary for you to be in a commitment with a man? Or you just gonna be like them and just take the first man that comes along that pays attention to you? You give this some thought, okay? Because I'm really not feeling your letter and this attitude that you have at only 21 years of age. You sound like some broad, like 90 years old or some shit that had to knock on that desk door and wonder why, where you can't get a boyfriend at 90. You 21 and just turned that. You still got milk breath. Girl, you better live your life and stop worrying about motherfucking men, okay? They'll be there forever, always up in your face talking shit and causing problems. Be happy that your life is peaceful. As soon as you get a boyfriend, you're going to be like, oh, Lord, I wish I was single again. This is some bullshit. You're just too young to be worrying like this and putting that kind of focus on, like you feel incomplete and empty unless you have some motherfucking man bothering the fuck out of you. Get your mind right, chick. Okay? Happiness, you need to be happy 24/7, whether you have a boyfriend in your life or not. Because as soon as you're not happy, you're going to become prey. Because those are the kind of men that look for women who feel like they're nothing without a man. And they use the shit out of you. And you know why? Because they can. Because needy, weak-ass women are just sitting ducks. Don't have that attitude. Get your mind right. Question number 20, male, 22 to 27 from Hagerstown, Maryland. I'm a white boy living in Maryland. When the white guys write me, I don't know, they crack me up. I'm a white boy living in Maryland. I need your help. Okay, Deb, this is the situation. A friend of mine is getting married in Key West at the very beginning of February. Okay, that's right around the corner. I'm taking the bar exam at the end of February and have been slammed at work the last few weeks. I had already RSVP'd to her wedding and really wish I could be there, but with the Omicron variant and it being in Florida, not to mention her family are anti-vaxxers, I'm really hesitant about going and possibly getting sick so close to the bar. Oh, I'm scared to tell her though, and I just want to make sure I'm not being selfish here. Would love any input. Oh no, you're not being selfish. You're not being selfish at all. You your priority is passing that bar. It did nothing else, okay? Nothing else. And then secondly is, I guess not getting COVID. But her wedding, I mean, tell her to send you the video, you know, send the present and then say, I realized I RSVP, but I realized, with the bar coming up, I just can't do it. And with this Omicron thing, I cannot risk. You can send this to her in, to put a note in with the gift when you send it. Say, I'm sending you this one, gift. This is the best I could do. Sorry, I can't be there in person. And then you spell out your little reasons. Say, still love you. After everything is settled down, I'll come out to Key West and hang out with you guys or something and meet your husband to be, and but I wish you guys the best, nothing but happiness, joy, and have bundles of kids, bundles of whatever, just a whole bunch of bullshit, and you put that in there and you send that off FedEx to her, UPS, whatever you want, some kind of dependable thing. I would never send anything through US mail, and then you get it to her, and then that's it. That's what you do. Okay. If they have the online registry through that, what is that site? Weddings.com or bridal? I don't know. There's some wedding site. Oh, the Knot. It's called the Knot. That's where everybody puts their online bridal registry. So if they have one there, you can just pick a gift. You choose how much money you want to spend. You pick it, and then you put your credit card in there, and you pay, and they send it to the person, and then they have a space. Do you want to put a note in there, and you type all the stuff about, sorry, I just told you, sorry, I can't be there in person, blah, 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 blah. And they will take care of getting it to the person. They gift wrap it for you. They do everything. It is the best thing ever. I love that site for people who are getting married because I'm not going either. Airfare is too expensive and people have cooties. Question number 21. Female, 22 to 27, out of Denver. I'm 26 and my dude is 27, and I have been together with him for a little over 3 years. We bought a house 9 months ago and have been living together for 2 years. Okay, 3 years, bought a house 9 months ago. So y'all bought this house almost. Okay, but I see. You've been living together for 2 years, but just bought the house 9 months ago. Okay, I flipped it in my mind. We've never talked about marriage before because I guess it just never came up. Like it was briefly mentioned on our second or third date, but nothing since then. The past few months, marriage has been on my mind, and I would very much like to marry my partner. I don't think it's all on his radar, so I would like to talk to him about it and tell him that I'd like to marry him in the next few years. Actually, by the time I'm 30, but I don't really know why that number is what I came up with. And that is something that we would want to as well. But like, I just don't know how to bring up this conversation. There has never been a good time. It's always we're either going to meet people later, and if the conversation doesn't go well, that would mess with those plans, or it's a busy weeknight and there's no time for it, or one of us has a bad day in the first place, or we had both had a good day, and I don't want to bring it up to him because in case the conversation goes wrong. There was a good moment when we were cuddling last night, and I was trying to gather the courage to bring it up, but I chickened out. That you put a frowny face. How do you find the right time to bring a topic up like this? I would think this conversation would go well, but I generally don't know what his reaction would be. You were supposed to have this conversation before you bought a house. That would have been the ideal time to say, well, yeah, I know you want to buy a house, but I don't want to buy a house with a boyfriend. I want to buy a house with a husband. Are you ready to get married? Is that what this means? That was the time to say that, and you failed. You bought a house with a man before you had a wedding. Okay, so now what you have to do is say, you're going to say, look, and you don't have to wait for a great, if you're looking for some special time or whatever. You find his ass when he's taking a shower, and you go in there and you pull the curtain back and say, so when are we getting married? We've been together all this time, and now we bought a house. I want to get married. And then that's a good time. He's a captive audience. His ass in there with shampoo in his eyes. What's he going to do? He started jumping around too much. His ass ends up in traction. So I don't think he's going to do that. He's a captive audience. That's when I would get him. Right when he's taking a shower. And then he's going to be like, well, just wait till I get out of the shower. No, I want to answer now. Because I want to know what the plan is here. Because, I really hate that I bought a house with you without this being discussed. I feel stupid. But if that's the issue, you don't want to get married and I do, then we're going to sell this house and I'm going to deuce out. That's what's going to happen. You can buy me out. and I'll move on to someone who wants to give me what I want. But that's what I would do. I would catch his fucking ass in the shower. Run from this motherfucker. And I'm standing right there. Water all on him, shampoo. He doing all of this here, trying to see without burning his eyes out. And it's like, no, you gonna be you either gonna be engaged or we gonna be broken up by the time you get out the shower. Which one is it? See, I don't like to mince words and mess around. But see, like I said, this wouldn't have happened to me because before I even put in a dime to buy anything, we would already been married. I don't believe in buying property with boyfriends and that kind of stuff. That's silliness to me. Question number 22, female, 22 to 27 out of Oakland. I have a friend who is heavy. She's a big girl. She's pretty confident, and I love that about her. There have been times, though, where she will make negative comments about her weight, and I never know how to respond. I've seen comments on TikTok and social media where girls will say that in that instance, they do not like being told, but you're so pretty, which I never realized how that sounds until I read it. What am I supposed to respond to make her feel good about herself? How do you respond when a friend talks negatively about her weight? Well, okay, now realize who you wrote to, okay? Let me put that caveat in there. I'm not Dear Abby. I'm not all these nice people. I'm not, you wrote me, okay? Now let me just prepare everybody for the answer. This would not go well if this was my friend, okay? This would not go well. Because she'd be saying, oh, I'm so fat. I'm like, well, what the fuck you gonna do about it? You keep chugging down donuts and burritos and shit like it's going out of style. Do you think that's gonna help? That's not gonna help the situation. So, either you gonna change what you're doing or you gonna stop complaining to me about it. Which one you gonna do? That would be me. I I don't do these pity parties and stuff like that. Your ass is eating everything under the fucking sun. It's not nailed down. That's why you a big girl. I mean, it's great that you confident and all that stuff, but then here you are complaining to me about what the fuck am I supposed to do about what you chug down your throat. She's like, that just really wouldn't work for me. So, you can either not say anything or you could do it because I mean that's the reality of it. If she wanted to do something different, she would do it. But talking about it over and over and over, that's not doing anything. See, I'm a person of action. If you're trying to do something, I will help you. As a former personal trainer, if she said, Deb, I'm ready to, this, what should I do? I'm all over that. I'll help you. I'll give you what you need to make it happen. I might even exercise with you because I need some more exercise myself. But you just gonna sit there complaining, oh, I'm so big. Let me get another burrito. Oh, I want my burger dipped in the fat. Well, Mary Elizabeth, shut up. See, these people right here, she don't have no eating disorder. She ain't no eating disorder. She just needs to stop eating church's fried chicken and shit like that. Most people, when you look at their diet that are overweight, it's not because they have an eating disorder or, thyroid problems and stuff like that. Some do. But usually you can tell because they have, along with that tends to come hair loss, especially like up here in the crown. And then some women get PCOS because of that tends to be tied to the hormone cortisol and too much insulin, insulin resistance. They're all kind of tied together. So, if that's the case, then that would be medical and you would get the medical, get them stuff under control first. But they're so young. See, 22 to 27 age group, that's usually women that's much older that have those problems. So in this instance, I'm betting that 90% of it is what she's eating, and lack of exercise. So that was she would just get blasted. I don't want to. She's not binging though. She just eating too much. Where y'all getting binging from? This person didn't say anything about anybody binging. That was not said. No. She says she's pretty and she's confident and all this kind of stuff. There was no mention of binging here. Y'all coming up with scenarios that's not evident in the letter. But what is that this person complaining about their weight, but they're not doing anything. So, like I said, that's how I would handle it. But you asked me and I told you. Question number 23, female, 22 to 27 out of Boston. My boyfriend is 28 and he graduated from a healthcare program a few years back. Right after he graduated, he got a job at a major hospital here, but due to his mental health slash burnout, it affected his performance and he resigned. Okay, so a healthcare program. I wonder what it was. Probably something to do with nursing or something. He took almost a year off and then started applying to jobs again. He almost got a position at a private clinic. However, due to the start of the pandemic, they couldn't hire him. Since then, he hasn't been able to get a position for what he went to school for anywhere. He's currently working part-time as a server. Another issue is his anxiety. He struggled with anxiety in the past and has gone to therapy. He also struggles with depression. He was on antidepressants for about a year and a half, but recently weaned himself off. His anxiety, however, is preventing him from applying to jobs. He does apply every now and then, but hasn't gotten any call backs, and I feel he could be doing more. I understand how anxiety-inducing the situation must be. I've tried being supportive and asked if he wants to speak to a counselor, but he doesn't want to because he said he's been already learned techniques from counselors that he's been to in the past. Unfortunately, counseling is also expensive without extended benefits, which he doesn't have. I have even tried to have weekly follow-ups with him to check up on the applications, but his anxiety is still the issue. I'm at my wit's end and feeling frustrated. I love him and I really do see a future with him, but it's not really doing much for his future. He's not really doing much for his future. I don't know if I want to stay with him. I don't know how else to help him. I really don't want to break up, but I really wish he would put more effort into working on his anxiety and job applications. Okay, you wishing for a whole bunch of shit that's not happening is not going to happen because this man here is a loser. He's a broken, mentally ill, depressed loser. I don't know, I don't like to mince words or pretend, and I'm not a nice, this not the nice advice column. This is the reality check advice column. This motherfucker is all fucked up. And you sitting up there calling him and stuff like you his mother. Hi, Sonny. Your mommy's calling to check on you. How's your job applications? What's going on? You know, he's got anxiety and he says that he learned some techniques from the counselors that he's seen in the past. You were supposed to ask him, motherfucker, then when you gonna put some of them into practice? Because your shit is just fucked. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of you whining. I'm tired of you not doing anything progressive. I'm tired of you being a young man that's tanking and just sitting and relying on me. I can't carry the weight of your ass along with me. We're done here, sir. We're done. That's what you need to tell him. I'm not going to call you anymore because you too much for me. There's too much weight around my neck trying to carry you and the load of all your mental illnesses and depressions and anxiety and shit. Plus you broke and you don't have no ambition. I can't do anything with you. So, boop, I'm gone. That's what you need to do. But but I love him though. Look at the video I just did. When was that, Sunday? About women who love men and how it makes women turn into a fool. That's you. It should be your picture on the cover of the thumbnail. Question number 24, female, 22 to 27 from Corpus Christi, Texas. I was seeing this guy for 7 months. He gave me a ring after 1 month of dating. Wow. Gave me $10,000 to pay off my car, planned a house to build with me. He bought a truck and camper and it was placed in my name. We went on plenty of trips, but then we would break up 2 months ago. I start to miss him, so I reach out to talk to him. We go to a movie, and then I tell him I want to take things slow. He responds with asking if that's okay if he sees other people. Of course, I say no. So later, he's acting distant and very mean to me. I asked him if he wanted to paint my son's room, and he responds to me by asking, why would I want to do that? And then I respond by saying, well, so we can spend more time with each other. He then says he's too busy planning his trip to someplace out of the country. He was complaining to me about how I'm making the time about myself and not about us. So he unfriended me on his Facebook and removes my photos also. Fast forward to last week. I sent him a message and asked him about possibly getting my bike from his house. He responds by pretending to be another woman texting his phone, asking me, who is this? And also saying that she'll pass along my message and to never contact him again. I assumed it was him, but the way that person was talking about a ring made me assume he was back with the ex-wife. So I decided to contact the ex to find out if she's back with him. She asked me why I would think that or why I needed to know. I then proceeded to tell her about our relationship and how much he's done for me and that I had her wedding ring. I wanted to know if they were seeing each other again. He was always talking about her to me and our relationship. She said it wasn't her texting me. I wanted to let her know that it wasn't a great idea for her to get back involved with him, but I don't know if I should believe her. What do you and the ladies make of this whole thing? The number one thing that I make of this is that you are stupid. You need a job, a hobby, and something to do with your time. You say you have a son, that's not enough work for you. You need to be busy so you don't have time to make stupid ass bitch shit filled phone calls to people. That lady was hella nice to you. I would still be cussing you out. You would have become every kind of ignorant bitch I could have thought of. And I'm very creative. I could put all kind of different adjectives and superlatives in those sentences to make them go on for a long time. So, you worrying about this man who you don't want to be with, not really. You don't want to sleep with him. He's, all these negative things, right? The only reason that you want to, to get with him probably is because you can get some more money and stuff out of him. You missed that part. This is stupid. Leave that man alone. Okay? You guys, and calling his ex-wife and you telling her, well, I have your wedding rings. You know what I would have told you? It's my trash. You're welcome to it. Trash bitches need somebody else's leftover trash. That's what I would have said to you. I'm glad you could use my leftovers with the shit I threw out. Garbage. You just a garbage wearing bitch. I mean, what you want from me? Get off my phone, oh. That's what you would have got from me. Calling me, telling me some shit like that. I would have had to hurt your feelings. Because you trying to make it sound like it was some big prize that you got some recycled ass wedding rings. Why would you want to wear somebody else's wedding rings? You something wrong with you. This girl is crazy. There's something seriously wrong with you though, for real. That you would think that that's something you should be bragging about. That should be embarrassing. Okay, that you would walk around with some rings that somebody else don't want from a marriage that they tossed out, from a man that they threw away who's trash, and then you acting all happy because you picked it up and you got the rings. Wow. I'm speechless right now. And this is our final letter of this wacky ass show tonight. I just cannot believe the wife got a whole new ring and a new man and a whole new marriage and a whole new life, and she ain't bothered. Just, this is just really sad. Okay, anyway, let's move on to question 25. Female, 28 to 34, age group out of Manchester, England. I'm seeking advice as my two younger children do not enjoy staying at their dad's house every other weekend, especially if his new girlfriend's son is there. Here are the facts. Any advice you can give me is greatly appreciated. My ex-husband left our family in February of 2021. Okay, so it's almost a year ago. We divorced in July. In May of last year, he met a new girlfriend. And then in August, he moved her into his home, 45-minute drive away. Her 9-year-old son lives there with her 50% of the time. The rest of the time, he's with his biological dad. My two youngest are a boy aged 8 and a girl aged 10. They see their dad once a week and stay overnight every other weekend. They are okay to stay the night, but are very reluctant when her son is there too. I have tried to encourage them to like the boy, but unfortunately they find him very attention-seeking and emotionally immature. My ex-husband is determined that the kid should get along and is really pushing this. I prefer a slower, more natural approach. As the boy only lives with them 50% of the time, it seems like it should be possible for the kids to stay when he is not there. I think it's more important that the kids get to spend quality time with their dad rather than to share him with this other boy. Any experience or other opinions of the ladies of the squad is very welcome. So I don't know if you all, some people here are divorced or, have that kind of thing where they have split shared custody. So if you have any experience with this you'd like to share with her, just type your comments in the chat stream, and she can check it out when she when she gets time or later, or I'm not, we don't know if people are actually listening now, if they're going to listen later. So just, if you have any experience in that, just put your comments in the chat. But I'm going to say this. What you might want to do is talk, see if you could talk to your husband calmly about this. Say, the kids miss you. Since the breakup is new. I mean, it's just not even a year old yet, and they're used to having you all to themselves. Now, yes, gradually they may, as they get older, understand the situation, but they're only 8 and 10 years old right now. So what they want when they have visitation with their dad, they want to have a spend over, overnight, and just have you to themselves. So let's try to arrange it so that the night that they spend over with you is when the boy is not there. How do you feel about that? And then they can have more, at least half the time, or maybe does it every other weekend? So at least one of the weekends a month they have it with him, just them, and then the other night during the weekend of the every other, then it can be with all the kids. So propose that and see what he says. I mean, ideally you would like it where both times they're there, he's not. But I don't think that's going to go over as well with him, because they're going to want to have some time where they don't have any of those kids, and then they can have time where all of them, or just his kid or just her kid. And that's the way that I would approach it, kind of a compromise negotiation kind of thing. And then he can just pay attention to his kids with no other child to being pulling at him to do anything with him, especially if that kid is a very attention seeking and emotionally immature. That means he's going to be throwing tantrums and doing and saying things to get the dad's attention away from his own kids onto them. So he needs to, you have to figure. I don't know how this group works or how his mind works, but that is the approach that I would take. That would be the goal I'd be trying to reach, to have them be with him, once a month, more if possible, for their overnight, where that boy is not there and he can concentrate and give them all of his attention. So try to talk to him about that and see how far you get. He might be a little, resistant at first and have to go away and really think about it, because most usually when you propose stuff like that, men see it as a criticism instead of, you might have to remind him, I'm not criticizing you. This is not about you. It's not about me. It's about what's best for our children. That's the only reason I'm talking about this. The only reason I want you to consider this. They need to spend time with you, to kind of help them get over this hump. The divorce is so new. Please help me help them. That's all I'm asking you to do. See how he takes to that approach. Sometimes sincerity works, and sometimes the men are just so far gone. It don't matter what you do and what you say, it's not going to matter to them. But let me remind you guys what we got coming up starting in just a few weeks. We're going to have our 5th annual Video a Day February program. That's a video every single day for the month of February. We have a bunch of guest speakers coming in. We're going to have a panel discussion. I'm going to do some of the shows, and it should be pretty interesting overall to see, what's going to happen. Okay, then on February 11th, I'm going to do another where you can call in and get your question answered right there on the spot in real time with your advice question. That's going to be on Friday, February 11th, starting at 6 p.m. Usually goes on about 2 hours. So come make your $8 donation and bring your advice question. And then we have a very controversial show that we're going to be doing on the 26th day of February. That's on February 26th. We're going to be discussing what's the emotional impact on a woman when her man, her husband, her long-term boyfriend, her baby daddy decides that he wants to be a woman, that he wants to be trans. That impact, and now I'm very careful to say this is not to talk about any political issues, no laws. I'm strictly focusing on the emotional impact of this kind of decision on the family and on the marriage and on the wife or girlfriend. So, all that other stuff is for another day. This is talking about the personal aspect and how this impacts the women who are left behind when their husband decides to transition and become a woman. Okay? It's going to be interesting. So anyway, I want you guys to take a moment here. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share a video. It doesn't have to be this one. It could be any video on this channel. But thank you very much for coming. It was What the Fuck Wednesday this week since I messed up my schedule. But we'll be back. Most likely, I'll probably be back sometime on the weekend because I have a couple of things I want to talk about. That won't be long, but I do have some things I want to bring to your attention before February starts. All right. So become a subscriber. Watch out for an announcement to come. I will see you all real soon. Love you. Bye bye.